In 1769, on the Mediterranean island of Corsica, a boy named Napoleon Bonaparte was born. Few could imagine that this child would one day change the fate of Europe forever. Coming from a modest noble family, Napoleon attended military school in France. Quiet, disciplined, and highly intelligent, he spent countless hours studying history, mathematics, and the art of war. Then came the French Revolution. As France descended into chaos, old systems collapsed, creating opportunities for ambitious young officers to rise through the ranks. Napoleon seized that opportunity. During the siege of Toulon, his brilliant use of artillery helped secure victory and brought him national recognition almost overnight. In 1796, Napoleon took command of the French army in Italy. Despite leading a poorly supplied force, he defeated enemy armies one after another, proving himself one of the most gifted military commanders of his generation. With every victory, French influence expanded. Austria suffered defeat, territories were conquered, and Napoleon's reputation spread across Europe like wildfire. Military success was no longer enough. In 1799, Napoleon overthrew the French government in a coup and became first consul, effectively placing France under his control.
5 years later, inside Notre Dame Cathedral, Napoleon crowned himself emperor. It was a powerful symbol that his authority came from no king and no church, but from his own ambition. At Austerlitz in 1805, Napoleon achieved one of the greatest victories in military history. His brilliant tactics shattered the armies of Austria and Russia and secured his dominance over Europe. At the peak of his power, Napoleon controlled or influenced much of the continent. Kings feared him, nations obeyed him, and his empire stretched farther than ever before. But ambition pushed Napoleon toward a dangerous gamble. In 1812, he invaded Russia with more than only a fraction of the soldiers survived the journey home. After a brief return to power in 1815, Napoleon faced a final challenge at Waterloo. There, British and Prussian forces defeated him once and for all, ending his empire forever. Exiled to the remote island of St. Helena, Napoleon spent his final years reflecting on his extraordinary life. He died in 1821, but his influence never disappeared. His military genius, legal reforms, and relentless ambition continue to shape history more than 2 centuries later. Napoleon rose from obscurity to conquer Europe, and his story remains one of the most remarkable journeys ever recorded.